Hello everyone, welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. We are about to go rescue our papa! Let's get right to it! Boop! Tonight is the night. Everyone is gathered close to the door, ready to see us off. Everyone except... Princess! Rumple suddenly appears and is coming up to stand right next to him. What are you two doing here? Well, of course we came to wish you good luck, just like everyone else here. We'll be waiting for you tonight so that we can celebrate everyone's return. Be careful. Emmeline, who has been everywhere with her brother since they came here, is standing right beside him now, with a smile. I will pray for your safe return. Her smile wavers. I can tell she's uncertain. Smile back at her! She has the great knights of Chaldea, 2 witches, and a prince. She'll be fine. I have a prince. Rod's responses are curt as usual, but I cannot help but notice the hesitance in his voice. Even though he stares at me without expression, I think I can see a twinge of worry in his eyes. Rest assured, we will keep the princess safe. We're not going to let Alcaster get away with what he did to Angèle and his royal family. Parfait steps forward last. She and Delora glance at each other, and I feel as if some secret message bounces between the two of them. Delora nods ever so slightly before Parfait turns to the rest of us. Her eyes eventually fall on me. You've changed since you've been here, Princess, but your dedication and resolve never wavers. It's always been there, just beneath the surface. Stubbornness or resolve? Yes, Sophie. Flip sides of the same coin. It's as if Parfait is able to read my thoughts. She smiles as she sets a hand on my shoulder. Your dedication is very much like King Genero's. You're proud and honorable and always take steps in the right direction. That's why I know you'll be back tonight. Just as Rumple said, we'll all be waiting for you. All of you. Stay safe tonight. I nod my head as everyone gathered around begins to repeat their hearty goodbyes. I mean, we're not having suicide mission music in the background. It is Delora who walks away first. We all follow behind. The night has just begun. Our way to the palace gates is uneventful, but we pause some distance away from them to take shelter in a nearby alley. There are knights everywhere. Waltz points to what looks like a regular section of wall. There's the hidden door to the tunnels. If we time it right between the knights' patrols, we should be able to make it. On my signal. Claude puts a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. It is an abrupt gesture and doesn't last long, but the motion calms my nerves somewhat. We will be fine. Ooh, tunnels! Our footsteps echo in the tunnel. Standing in front of me are Jurian and Garland, who are flanking Waltz. Delora stands beside me, and Claude is at my back. This small tunnel makes it seem like we brought a lot of people. We're adventuring in a dungeon! This way. We silently follow Waltz's instructions. How is it that Waltz knows about these tunnels? 'Cause he's a witch! I've already taken into account the guards and where they might be positioned based on Prince Rod's information. We should be alright. Garland and I will act as distractions if needed. Princess, leave most of the fighting to us if there's any to be done. I know. I'll only fight if I need to. If only I wasn't cursed, I'd be able to fight to my full extent. I think you're still quite capable without all your magic, puppeteer. Oh, a compliment. It's an honor, Miss Karma. I'm only in this dress because of Jurian, you know. Jurian crosses her arms and cocks an eyebrow at Claude. I wouldn't fall in love with you no matter what you say. That's what they all say. We're here. Suddenly, everyone goes quiet. I feel a lot heavier as I stare at the staircase in front of me. This should lead to the throne room. Why do we have to go to the throne room? Aren't we looking for Ophelia in a cell? I didn't know we had a secret passage into the throne room. How much does Waltz know about the palace? Immediately after we step into the throne room, we split apart to avoid the guards' gazes. I stick close to Claude and Waltz as Delora conjures a blanket of shimmering fog that envelops the guards. watches the guards' eyes close before they slump to the ground. Wow, it's so useful having a witch on board. Delora drops her hands once all the guards are truly asleep. Amazing how intolerant humans are to magic. Let's keep going. Getting through the palace is no easy feat. Hallways that were easy to get through before are difficult to traverse now with all the soldiers standing around. Delora casts a spell to silence our footsteps into quiet muffles, but moving is still difficult, especially with such a group. Eventually, we arrive just outside the tunnels that should lead to the castle's prison. I'll stand watch. Be careful, Waltz. I will. We enter another network of tunnels. Jurian, Garland, after you. Jurian glances at me briefly, then at Claude, who nods, a little stiffly. We'll be right back. In accordance with the plan, Claude and I are left at the halfway point of the tunnels to ensure a clean escape as Delora, Jurian, and Garland continue on to the prison. Where's Waltz? They should be fine. But I'm still worried. My eyes wander to Claude, and I bite down on my lower lip when I notice that his hand is once again raised to his chest. I find myself reaching out to grab Claude's hand, but he swiftly pulls it away. The glare on his face takes me by surprise. Why is he so angry? Maybe he's just in pain. Claude puts a hand to his chest and flinches as he leans up on the wall. Not now. His voice sounds pained. What's he talking about? Claude? I just need some space, Princess. But I'm fine. I cannot help but feel irritated at the way Claude has snapped at me. I'm sorry. Don't mean to be this way. He trails off, his eyes distant. Swish. Because of your curse, right. Most of the time, he's sociable and a pleasure to talk to, but then he reverts to this state. It's like he's two different people. I can't understand why he's like this. Why do I care so much for someone who keeps secrets? Sophie, I wish I could explain. But if I did, you would hate me. Are you sure? Because I don't think I would. Or more accurately, you would be afraid of me. Why would I be afraid of you? Let's just ask that question, shall we? Dots. You've never done anything frightening before. You aren't a frightening person. The only time you ever frighten me is when you're like this, when you look like you're in pain and you keep secrets. Secrets are my own selfish desire, but they're for your safety too. You're talking in circles. Why won't you just tell me what's going on? Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. Would the other option have got me the points? I don't like not having the points. I do want a good ending here, even though there are some times when I can't bring myself to possibly go back and switch things up. Yes, let's try the other one. Let's just see. I could never be afraid of you. That sounds such a Bella thing to say. He says dots. What is there to be afraid of? Claude wears a pained expression as he looks at me. I see him once again grabbing at the collar of his dress, looking as if he's in some kind of quiet agony. That's what she said too. Is he talking about that one woman from before, the one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same? I'm not like her. Duh. Hey, it was points! Okay. I'm not sure why a statement versus a question is the total difference between the happy points, but okay, I guess it is. Sophie. Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. His hand moves quickly to the hilt of his sword just as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see that it is Jurian, Garland, and Delora heading towards us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They weren't in the prison. Duh! You have no idea where else they could be. Delora steps out from between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We can't keep sneaking without a direction. That's a sure way to get caught. The words have just left her mouth when the alarm sounds behind us. Don't tell me. It's the alarm! Everyone draws their weapons as Waltz appears running towards us with a harried expression on his face. The knights are on their way. How did they know we were here? In seconds, I hear the clanking of metal, and there are knights upon us. We're forced to scatter to deal with different opponents. A guard rushes at me with a sword, and I somehow manage to block his attack. I should be able to wind around him. The knight falls after I catch him from behind and give Claude an opening to attack him. Sophie! Stay behind me! I promised I would, remember? Let's keep it that way. A smile flashes across his face, and for a few moments he seems more like the Claude I know. Duh! The knight manages to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. He grabs my arm. Unhand me! I watch in shock as a shivering fog surrounds my attacker, his eyes closing as he slumps to the ground. He's only the first to fall. In seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity have fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise and fall of their chests that they are asleep. Sorry, I couldn't focus long enough to cast that spell earlier. Delora drops her hand and turns to address Waltz, Claude, and I. Head toward the entrance hall. The king must be in one of the central rooms. Jurian, Garland, and I will head to the bedchambers in the east wing to look for the queen. Splitting up is not part of the plan. We don't have much of a choice anymore if we're going to get the king and queen out of here. We have to improvise. Now go. Claude grabs my hand and jerks his head at Waltz. Let's go. The three of us rush out and into one of the palace hallways. I keep my gaze forward while Waltz and Claude watch for enemies on either side of us. On our right. Claude grabs his sword and moves before Waltz and I can respond. He dives low toward a soldier, his sword poised straight for a devastating blow. Knights begin to approach us from the left, and I raise my sword, readying myself. Waltz snaps his fingers, a flash of light blinding the men in the immediate vicinity as I use the opportunity to rush the knights in front of me. I grit my teeth as I attack. Most of my blows are lucky. There are too many knights for me to get the upper hand. There are so many of them. Well, if it isn't the most desirable princess. Duh! I whip around to attack the man who spoke to me, but he's nowhere to be found. Where is he? Who are you? I wonder. Sophie! I turn and see Claude running toward me, a panicked expression in his eyes. I take a step toward him when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Yes. Who are you? I raise my sword, but the masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. An incredible pressure blasts out from the cane. It shoves Claude to the floor and blows me backwards. Ugh. I hit the wall hard, and my vision darkens. Claude. Dots. Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts. Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. But I have the Cinderella curse! I jerk upright at the familiar voice. You're the man who knocked me out! The man laughs, and I blink as I try to pinpoint the direction of his voice. Did he blindfold me? I command you to take off this blindfold. I don't take orders from princesses that no one remembers. Duh! But I'm a gentleman, so I suppose I shall have to heed a lady's request. The blindfold is abruptly pulled off, and I flinch at the sudden brightness. Why, hello there, princess. My captor looks at me, amused. He wears a crooked grin on his masked face and a cape on his shoulders. Who is he? Diamond-shaped buttons! My eyes wander to the throne, and I cannot help but gasp at what I see. The king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. Your Majesty! The king pauses to look at me, his eyes containing a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turned to glare at the masked man. Let him go! No can do, Princess. Though, don't you think he still looks regal sitting on his throne like that? Grit my teeth as I begin to struggle against my bonds. Struggle all you like. You won't get out of those knots anytime soon. Who are you? The masked man drops into an elegant bow. I am called Varg. Okay, Varg? What have you done to my father? Me? Nothing. Well, not much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back counts as something. Are you working for Sir Alcaster? I don't work for anyone. So he's a mercenary? Mercenaries literally do work for people. Just saying. The door flies open and Alcaster steps in, his face full of anger. Mithros the fool. How absolutely useless he was. Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. While I do agree with that wholeheartedly, that man is in the past. Here in the present, we have someone far more interesting to deal with. Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before turning my gaze to Alcaster. I used to think Alcaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore. If it isn't the princess herself. Duh! You remember who I am? Once Mithros made the connection, it was just too obvious to be false. Could Sir Mithros remember me? Alcaster shifts his attention to the king. Genero, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter? My eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. He cannot remember me. I haven't managed to break my curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father, to the kingdom? Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have run with an iron fist. That fear is the best motivation. A king that is too lenient and does not inspire fear has no business being on the throne, and yet you put Genero on the throne literally. You're forcing him to stay there. But the people of Angers love their king. Before I had thought the town people were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as mother's daughter, which is wrong, but that doesn't mean they should be subject to a regime of fear. Your obligation as a ruler is to rule for the country, not the people. Back when the queen was still alive and this place knew the fear of the witches, they were far more productive. Fear motivates. Fear makes a man... King Alcaster! You better have a good excuse for interrupting. Your Highness, there's a beast! What are you blathering about, you fool? A beast! A magic... a horrible, monstrous beast! Is it a big beast? Huge! With a long, ugly snout, hideously ugly, and sharp, cruel fangs? Yes, yes! Will you help me? Is this the dead witch's doing? Dead witch? No, Delora is fine. She has to be. Out with it. Did Mithros do this? What? Nailed it. I cannot stop myself from blurting out the question. Sir Mithros is a witch? He was a witch. But now, he is dead. He turns to his knight and demands more information. I'm too shocked to hear their words. Sir Mithros, a witch. Impossible! What of the other palace intruders? We've managed to apprehend some of them, but we can't get to everyone with that beast taking us out. That damned Mithros. Still a pain, even after death. What did you do to Sir Mithros? Do you not hear me, girl? He's dead. Killed by my hand. Duh! But why? He was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve our own personal goals. He eyes me cautiously. He wanted you, Princess. If Sir Mithros was a witch, that would explain why he still remembered me. Why did he want me? Who knows? Because you're the future tenant bearer! Because he loved your mother! It doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not. But in the end, that fool was too power-hungry. You never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, Princess, had you just stayed put. But now that you're here, you'll come in handy. Alcaster turns back to the knight, who immediately bursts into explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we can keep it from this room. There's a beast in the palace? And it's Sir Mithros doing? I am so confused. What about the others? Are they okay? Let me go, Alcaster. You are not going anywhere. Sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you. And when they get here, I will kill them. No, you can't, you dick! You, Princess, are going to make excellent bait. Ugh! Not my friends! You know, I like this turn of events. Kind of amusing. You, tell me what all of this is. Varg looks unmoved by Alcaster's anger. It is Mithros that summoned the beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You're asking me? Of all people. Ha! As if I would be able to answer any of your questions. You... Cool! Varg! It doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alcaster, I won't have any answers for you. Sir Alcaster turns to me, his eyes manic. Whether this is Mithros magic or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not going to let it live. Could Delora create a beast out of thin air? No, I don't think this is Delora's fault. Sir Alcaster draws his sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of break in my restraints. Varg surprises me, however, by reaching down and cutting the ropes binding my arms with a sword that I recognize. You have my sword! And you have my bow! I stand up quickly as I can and grab the sword from him. That was too easy. I eye Varg warily as his mouth twists into a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me? Help? All I did was cut some ropes. Besides, I'm curious to see what you'll do with that toothpick of a sword. He talks like he doesn't care at all what happens. I don't think he does. Don't think about it too much, Princess. It's probably a little too much for your small head. Thanks! I swing my sword toward him and Varg catches it with his cane. Duh! You really think I'm the one you should be fighting? Duh! The door creaks and falls off its hinges. The knights stumble back, and I hear the screaming as loud footsteps sound against the hall's tiles. So what will you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you, too? Holy shit, that's cool! My eyes focus on the large figure entering the room. Though I cannot make out specifics at first, the form grows more distinct the further it moves into the room. You know, based on the sounds, I thought it was going to be a dragon, but this looks much more terrestrial. Whatever this is, I cannot fight it. There's a moment of eerie silence. Then Alcaster yells, and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws them off with surprising nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me. Over here, beast. Sir Alcaster rushes at the beast. I finally managed to get a clear line of sight to the king, who is still bound and helpless on the throne. The king. I have to get him out of here. I run toward the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks. Saving the king really shouldn't be your priority right now. Varg, what is it to you? Also, what? Is it a wolf? Or, like, some kind of a hound? What is that? I grit my teeth and swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts away from me. I would be watching my back. It is then that I notice the beast slowly making its way towards me. You know, I'm not gonna fear this. Why would it be after me? I don't think it is. Either I stay here and fend it off, or... Alcaster catches the beast with a broad swipe of his sword, and the two are focused once more on each other. I glance urgently at the king, then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize it is once more headed toward me. There's no way I can help the king in all this mess. I need help. I have to find the others. Hopefully Alcaster will keep this beast busy long enough for me to get them. I turn and bolt through the room, weaving my way through the chaos of knights as I head toward the door. I glance over my shoulder one last time at the king. His eyes are trained on the battle before him. His hands grip the arms of his throne, but there's nothing he can do. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. But for now, I have to find the others. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past Sir Alcaster, and for a few moments I think he might be attacking me. Stay back! I hold my sword out in front of me and stand in a defensive position like Claude taught me, but the beast never reaches me. You've ruined everything, beast! Alcaster is suddenly in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble back toward the doors, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here. This is exciting! The Beauty and the Beast. Yep, I've had some suspicions about the nature of this beast. Alright, it's a tiny bit short, but we just started a new chapter, so this would be an awesome time. Save it. Make sure it's saved. Yay. Alright, thank you everybody so much for watching. We will unravel the mystery of the Beauty and the Beast. More like the Beauty is the Beast, am I right, fellas? In the next episode. So, thank you, and bye for now.